Okay.
Hopefully. Okay.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, so it's recording. Sweet. Okay.
All right,
All
perfect.
right. So, hey, Ashley. Hey, Ari. So, Ari, how long have you been coaching? Like 2 weeks?
Yep,
Okay.
just the beginning of the month.
Cool. He's cute. He's like, what is this? That's funny. So tell me how you know Sue.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I feel like I've known you forever. She's my softball coach, my high school softball coach.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. And Ashley's one of Diana's coaches. So Sue just kind of wanted me to like hop on and just so I could like actually meet people that you guys are adding and working with. And I've talked to Ashley before, but if you guys have any questions, like it's so dark in here, just let me know. Because I know that it's like super overwhelming when you start. And honestly, I guess I don't fully know that because so Micah, our upline, is my sister-in-law, and she literally signed up and just told me to sign up pretty much because why not, you know? So I just signed up, and then at that point, she wasn't on a team that like, which is crazy to me because she wasn't on a team that actually had any training. Like she figured out what the heck to do, and she figured it out through like YouTube videos. And so she had zero training. And so when we like tell everybody like do this training, I understand that it's kind of overwhelming for people because I mean, it wasn't there when I started, you know. So I still like went through the new coach training, but it's different because I already like had an idea of what things were when I went through it, when they finally like did it. So are you doing Ashley, you've done the new coach university. And
yeah.
have you done the new coach university?
I'm
in it right now.
I'm in it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I always tell people if they're wanting to work the business to jump in and just literally just start sharing your journey and share what you're doing. I know that you don't want to be annoying because you don't want to go from like not sharing on Facebook and stuff at all to like sharing 24/7. I get that. But you don't want to only share health and fitness either. Share your life. You have a, cute little baby. Share stuff about him, just your life in general. And it's a boy, right? I'd assume because he's wearing blue.
Yes.
Yes. So that's kind of like, I don't know. I used to be the type of person that cared so much of what every single person thought of me. And so I didn't share what I was doing. And I think that held me back for a really long time because people, like I was never talking and inviting people in person or in private messages. And I wasn't sharing what the heck I was doing. So how in the heck would people know what I was up to, So don't be afraid. It's not weird. People do it all the time just to share what they're doing. You don't have to be salesy about it. Please don't be salesy about it, So is there specific questions that either of you might have that are like, whether that's what to do coaching, whether, how to talk to people, something about, like the back office. I know the back office was kind of crazy this week because they're in the transition. So that kind of wasn't fun. But they're coming, I need to share in our team page, they're coming out with like a video to help people walk through it to know exactly where kind of everything moved to. So that will help. But didn't know if there was anything specific that maybe you're struggling with or what. Like Ashley, do you have 5 coaches? You're like close.
No.
You have 4?
So Jeremy, Laura, Alicia, Bethany. So there's 4. Yep, 4.
Yeah.
The 5th one is gonna drop off.
Okay. And you guys, that happens. Like, I mean, Sue can probably say it too. That's why we always tell people to not get comfortable where you're at and literally just continue to talk to people. Continue, like I'm like replacing people all the time, because as awesome as having discount coaches is, it's great to have people that want to just sign up for the discount. It's awesome. And it's like a filler place when you're shooting for like diamond or a certain goal. But you have to like be proactive in replacing them, because honestly, like I've personally signed just in my first business center, like 30 people, and probably a third of them actually are doing something, you know, so, or actually even working out and doing the program. Some people just kind of do it in by Shakeology here and there, you know, so that's why we always say, I mean, Sue's already had quite a few people just drop off or say, oh, I want to work the business. And then 2 weeks later, they don't want anything to do with it. So that like, I had a call with Micah on Wednesday, and she was talking to one of the other coaches she's just been pretty, like, she feels like she's doing all the right things, but just super overwhelmed with life in general. And she has like 4 kids, and she just was super stressed. And so Micah was super, obviously you don't say this to everybody, but she was super blunt, just be like, yeah, you know, like you kind of have to embrace like the suck. Like you have to embrace and just the hard parts, because you're going to run into like walls. I know Susan's already hit those, you know, there's times where you feel like you're literally still doing everything you've done, talk to a million people, put yourself out there, and you're just getting no after no after no. You know, like yesterday was a frustrating day just in general, but it was mostly because I have like 4 girls that I've been talking to that tell me their life story and how bad they want to change and how miserable they are and how they just need a change in their life, but yet they can't invest $160 to make that step to actually change. And it's frustrating because I just want to shake them and be like, nothing comes free in life. Like you have to like learn to put something into like to receive stuff, you know, it's both ways. So you're going to get so many people that say that. And I used to think like, oh, all these like, you know, I used to always complain to Micah about people probably just come to you, blah, blah, blah. But that's not true. Like the people that are having like 1 million challenge packs or whatever, and they're adding people on their team, they're probably hearing way more no's than we are, because they're talking to twice as many people as we are. Legit. You know, like, and I've kind of learned that over the years, that sometimes when I feel like I'm like talking to 1 million people, like I'm not talking to enough still. There's always more people out there, and I know we feel like there's so many coaches, so many people talking about health and fitness, so many different avenues that people can take, I guess, to get healthier. But there's still, I don't know, there's still so many people that are overweight and need something like this in their life. So I don't know, just there's a ton. So do you guys have any like specific, what, Sue?
Well, Cozy, I was just going to say something when you just even talked about overweight women. It's not always even just that. It's also women who need support. They need something in their lives to help them feel that they're needed, and that's filling their cup. In fact, I just talked with a lady today that was just like, she goes, I'm searching for friends that can fill my cup. And she's like, and I'm not getting that. And I just said, you have to fill your cup first. Like you cannot depend on other people to fill your cup until your cup is full. And that was my perfect opportunity to show her. I just sat down. Don't tell it was a visiting teaching moment. I was there. I sat down and I was showing her some stuff, and I'm like, you need this in your life. And she's like, I think I do. So there's some headway there, but it's not just the weight, but that is a huge issue. But that accomplishment or that sense of fulfillment is so needed, and it will come through the programs that we have.
And that's what is awesome is, yeah, like you said, so many of the programs, they've made a huge transition into like the old programs that were 90 days long, which they're amazing, but a lot of people aren't going to finish a 90-day program. They're not going to, you know. So the fact that they came out with 21 Day Fix, anybody should be able to finish 3 weeks of a fitness program. Now they're doing week-long things, like just that, like being able to accomplish something, like one after another, just little things to accomplish and getting the support you need, it just builds on itself. And like, I don't know, the friendships in people, we think people have, like, people are full of like having tons of friends, but I think a lot of people are super lonely, and especially for women. Maybe guys do too, but especially for women, they need that support and know that like other people actually give a crap about what they're doing, you know, care about what they're doing. So that's seriously huge, Susan. That's so big. And I mean, for like a new coach, there's 2 things that I would say personally to do and focus on, and that is finish the coach training, because I can't tell you how many people will ask me questions that I know were in the coach training, and if they would do it, then they would understand a lot more. The stuff there, I still have stuff I learn all the time. I still ask Micah questions all the time because things change, and sometimes I'm just not 100% sure on something, so I still have questions, but little simple things that you should know. Most of the time, that's why the training is there, to help you understand and go over them. And then the second, just work on your journey. Like, no matter what, if anything, make sure you get your workout and your like nutrition on track that day. Over anything, especially as a new coach. That's what I would say. People are watching.
Awesome.
So
What about, so you were able to get yourself all through college, and you paid for like your college without really taking out student loans because of the business. So like, you know, is there anything different that you were during that time, because you had a whole lot of classes, you were also working as the masseuse, right?
Yeah. So
like, you were doing a whole bunch, still were able to pay for your schooling.
Yeah, so when I first started, I was still doing massage and I was still working the business. And then when I started school, I realized I'm not going to be able to even like do massage as much as like enough to really make much of an income to even pay for anything. So that's when Micah's like, dude, freaking just work your business and make this happen, because one, you can do it at any time of the day and you can do it at home. You're not like taking time away from everything. And so I kind of and I didn't necessarily, honestly, even spend more time. I was just way more focused in what I was doing, because I was in school a lot. Like, I went to school most of the time I had to be there at 8. And I got done at like 4:30. I wasn't home till like 5:30. And then, you know, school, then you have homework and all the other crap you have to do. So I would get up at 5, and I did this for like 2 years. That's what, like, sometimes people don't understand. Like, I did it for like,
Cozy's the bomb.
I did it for like 2 years, where I would get up early, make sure like you do, Sue, every day, get your workout, and at least like pack a healthy lunch, get your shake in the morning, so I didn't have to worry about it. Because if I waited, it's like pulling teeth to do. Like, it's not fun to do your workout at 9 o'clock at night. Nope. And then I would, like, we got a little lunch break, so I would go and like check messages, do a post or whatever at lunch. And then after, I would try and do our power hour, like we say, do your invites, do your connecting with people, do just your messaging, and just, yeah, connecting with people, adding to your network, stuff like that. I would legit sit down for like an hour and just bust it out. When I tried to do it when I got home from school, earlier the better. And I literally would try to like put my phone away. If anybody texts me, like, I just didn't want to be distracted, because I didn't have a ton of time to do it. So I would do that like an hour. And then put all that stuff away, do my homework for a couple hours, and then before bed I would jump back on and answer messages if they had wrote me back, and just connect a little bit more. And that was like every day for 2 years. But I also did it every day. And I think that's what like, we don't understand. Like, the first year, my business was like this. Like, the first year, nothing. I mean, I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. But, one, I changed my complete mindset. I, physically was in a way different place, mentally in a way different place. And then after a while, people see what the heck you're doing and want to be a part of it. And when they see you go in and out, you're posting for a week, and then you don't post for 2 weeks, then you post again for a week, they don't want to be a part of it because you're not consistent. Why would they want you to help them be consistent? Like, honestly. So and not saying that if you take 2 days off and you're on vacation, you take 2 days off, that's okay. But so many people, you guys, like, that's why MLM has a bad name, because people jump from everyone trying to get the new shiny object, the new quick fix, new quick thing to get rich, whatever. And that's why they have a bad name, because people do that all the time. Or if you stick it out, I can't tell you how many people later have, like a year later, would message me and be like, okay, like, that's, like, now I think I'm ready. It takes time. Kayla that coaches, I like talked to her like 2.5 years ago, and then she decided she didn't want to do it, or she just didn't really want to do it. Decided to do LipSense, which is fine. Did that for a couple months and just decided that wasn't really for her. And she literally watched me, and I didn't know. She watched me for like 2 years. And she was like, the reason why I like chose to go with you is because you were consistent. She's like, I watched when you used to do all your workouts in your tiny little bedroom, and like, because she watched me for 2 years, and now she's like, hey, and she's had other friends that coached and contacted her about coaching, but since then they've fallen off, So when they always say like, be here in a year, if you can just like tell yourself, just seriously dive in and do this for a year straight, and just show up every day, show up for your own journey, like, you'll see consistency. You'll see people want that in their life. Like, so much of life is so up and down with so many people, and they feel like they don't have control over it. But when they see that you're showing up every day, like, people need that. People need, I don't know, they just need people that are consistent to help them be consistent. So that's like, and then I was able to, so I finished last December with school, and the April before that, so December 2016. So April 2016 is when I actually quit doing massage altogether, because I would still do massage like 2 full days a week. And yeah, it was awesome when I could, but I couldn't really do that until like my income with coaching replaced it, and I felt okay, because I'm not married. Like, I didn't have another income that I could depend on if I had a bad month. And that was almost a blessing for me. And, because, I mean, I have to pay bills. So I couldn't be like, oh, it's fine, I don't want to talk to people, or it's okay if I don't hit Success Club this month because I'm having a bad month. I couldn't really do that because I wasn't going to pay my bills if I didn't just bust it out. So in a way, that was a blessing, because now it's paid off.
Okay, so I have a question. I
Yes.
don't even know if you'd call it a question, but like, I feel uninteresting. Does that make sense to y'all?
No,
And I'm
talk about this
like
all the
worried
time.
that I'm gonna hit May. I'm gonna hit my year, and I would say I'm mostly consistent. Like,
Yeah.
I'll have a little bit of a fluctuation, but it's maybe only like by like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, my year's gonna come, and I still feel like this uninteresting person, that how would I keep going for the next couple of years, but I don't want to quit. I just feel like I'm just floating around doing this stuff, and I don't, like, how is mine any more interesting than so-and-so, or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it sound...
Well, and that's the thing. No, I totally know what you mean, because I feel like I'm super boring. Most of us are. We all feel like we kind of do boring. Like, our day-to-day stuff we do every day is boring. Get up, go to school, or be a mom, like, take your kids everywhere. Like, it's kind of boring. Most people are doing the same thing. But that's where you need to, like, talk about, like Diana's told me some things like that you've overcome already in this short period of time. Like you need to, not saying you need to like spill your beans and talk about everything. I get that. But at the same time, like so many more people will be able to connect with you if you like share little bits and pieces of how working out every day, eating better, and just having like new friends has blessed your life. Like you share your workout like a boss and your transformation physically like a boss, but not your mental and your habit changes that you've truly like.
I know, and I'm trying to work on it, but I'm very I'm like a very direct person. Like if I said like this is what works, now we do it. Like I don't like what don't you get? I'm very like
like it works.
Very direct, you know, like unless like I mean, there's been times where Diana's reached out or whatever, or other challengers, and they've been like, this is a problem, or this is what happened to me today, and they presented me with a problem, and I can just immediately on the spot present a solution. I'm like, all right, now you're going to do this, and we don't feel that way because this is what we're going to do. And they go on with their band and they rock out. But I don't know how to share that with somebody. Like I legit need a person to come up to me and be like, this is my problem, and then I could do it. Like,
yeah.
Ain't nobody on Facebook being like, hey, this is my problem today. So then when I'm like, okay, think of something, think of a problem, and then just talk to it, like, you know, then I'm like, I don't know, you know, like it just like leaves me like.
No, I know what you mean, and you feel like you're talking about yourself a lot sometimes, and people most of the time don't.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I think that like I'm arrogant or something, and.
But that's when you talk like. Okay, Jaylyn is really good about telling stories with her life and things that have gone on, maybe like a frustrating thing that happened that day. She'll talk about it, and then she always ends it with like a solution or ends it how she changed it, like changed her thought process. So I'm trying to think of an example. Like comparing where you are now to like think about different pain points that you personally have dealt with in your life. Guarantee other people deal with the same stuff. You know, did you watch that expanding your network video? I posted in the page yesterday or 2 days ago. There was a section where he gave an example of like.
Oh, I haven't finished all of it.
Okay.
I've been watching it, but not all. I haven't finished.
And it's probably towards the end, I think. So he talks about how somebody was like, oh, I'm just so happy that I can make dinner or breakfast for my kids because I didn't used to be able to, and now I can because of, you know, coaching, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to like tell the full story and everything. Like you almost want to just tell little bits and pieces and be like, a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this because I was at a different place in my life, and now I can. Do you know what I mean? Now I can do it because this and this is what I've learned. But just share tiny little bits, like bits and pieces of it. And if you ever like need help with trying to like get your words out, you know, sometimes you like are thinking in your head, you're like, how do I say this without it sounding like to where it makes sense? Send it in one of those message threads and we can help you, like, hey, I would change this, or this sounds good. I don't know. Sue, what do you like, what advice? Do you know what I mean? Like just sharing little pieces of your life without like telling everybody everything that's happened, where in different posts, just share little things that you used to struggle with and now you have a little more control over because of this. You know what I mean?
But think about it, Ashley. Are you the same person you were, you know, back in last May?
No.
No.
I'm totally not drunk anymore. That's fun. But I can't just go around, hey guys, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's true though.
I tell Diane all the time because she knows, like, I'm a non-smoker.
Well,
I know that I don't yell as much. I don't like hardly ever yell. Where it used to be, I was like yelling all the time. Everything was yelling.
Ashley, I've seen people post being like, my kids are driving me nuts today, and I used to be the person to scream and yell at them. Now I know how to like control, and now I know how to control my thoughts. I see people post like, I've been sober for 6 months, and they freaking get like comments and comments of people supporting them. Or I've been not able to I was able to turn down a cigarette today because of this. And people love to support people that do that. And there's so many people that will connect with that because so many people struggle with stuff like that, but they don't like to talk about it. And I get it, but that's how people connect with you, you know? So.
Right.
It's true. And yeah, you don't need to share every little piece of your life, but just little things that, you know, like you're definitely not the same person that you were in May when you started.
No. Now I talk to people. It's my new goal now. When I go to the store, I used to be like, hurry up and get out. Now I go to the store and at the checkout, like my goal is that whenever I go through the checkout, I have to like have a meaningful conversation with this person and somehow make them smile before I walk away.
And
it is super hard, but it's so worth it when you get them to smile. Like there's this one chick who honestly remembers me because she'll be like, oh yeah, you're from the other night and talk to me. And I've talked to her like 3 times now at night. Like I know what time she gets off work. So I'll be like, what do you get to do when you get off at 11 when you go home? She'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you. I like your hair. And I'll be like, yeah, how's it go? You know, like actually the first time she was like, the first time I did it, it was the weirdest thing. I said, how are you? She said, fine. I said, no, for real. How are you? What are you doing? What time do you get to leave here? Like, what do you do? What kind of hobbies do you like? She was like
you
she
actually
like, looked around.
Me.
And
yeah,
she didn't think I was talking to her.
You can make a post about that. Seriously, so easy. How many of us, we ask how people are doing and they say good, but I'm like, are you really good? You know what I mean? Like how many of us do that all the time? But the fact that you like asked her, I don't think you're good. You know what I mean? Like that probably meant a lot to her.
Right. Now that's a social standard. Like it's social standard to say that you're fine. But you know, it very well could be that person that you even bothered to say hi to was like thinking about like committing suicide or something an hour from now. You never know.
You don't.
But you know, and so like now it's my goal to actually talk to them because people are so moody, like so unhappy. And some people are like a real challenge. Like these secretaries at my kids' school, they drive me crazy. You can just feel the negativity off of them. It's like they want to kill everyone. That's how it feels when you walk in the room with them. And I used to be like scared of it. I'm like, I don't want to go in here because, now I'm like, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to learn something. So then the next time I see them, I'm going to get them to talk to me. Like,
no,
I haven't yet because they're so grumpy. Like, I'm still like, I'm going to figure out something you'll like, you know.
Seriously though, like those are the things that you should talk about. Like you can share little pieces, tell a story, and how, little things that you've changed. Because let's be honest, everybody doesn't want to hear about what workout we're doing every day. Everybody doesn't want to hear about our shake every day. Because that's awesome, but people don't really want to hear that every day. It's good to hear sometimes, but not every single day, you know? So.
Right.
That's truly what I.
Well, I try to figure out other stuff, like, from what I learned in, like, the trainings and stuff, like the pillar thing they talk about, and picking out stuff that, like, I like, and then basing off posts off of that. And I'm just like, well, I like freaking shakes. I like working out, and I like my kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
But you should talk a little bit about how, like you were saying, how you aren't drinking nearly as much, and how you don't smoke as much, and how you're freaking scared.
I don't smoke at all. Hold on here. I don't smoke at all. I don't smoke at all. That's very important because Diana would be like, what? I do not smoke at all. Like, I don't smoke at all. I'm a non-smoker. We worked really hard on this.
That's awesome. Like, that's something that you could talk about. Like, those can be kind of your avatar. Like, I used to do this, but it's not me anymore. I'm sure there's so many people that smoke that would love to quit, but don't really know how or have the support that they need. You know what I mean? So I just think the health and fitness part of it is just a gateway for so many people to just literally change their life. So, because obviously you feel better when you're working out, you feel better when you're surrounded by good people. But it's just a gateway, that's what I think. So,
Right. No, I do too.
but
And then sometimes some stuff I don't share as much about because I'm always like, oh, that might what if somebody was watching, this, I don't know how to explain this. What if somebody was watching, but then I shared something I have a favorite band, but it's not for everybody. Okay. There's a lot of cursing and a lot of questionable issues for other people. So it's not something that I would share about because I'm what if somebody that needs my help is watching me right now and then that turned them away. But then I'm oh, so I should stop being myself?
I was going to say, then they're not your people, honestly.
Right? But I don't.
They're not.
Because I really don't care what people think about me, but then I'm I don't want to,
You definitely want to be yourself, and that's what's awesome about social media is you can be yourself. I mean, you definitely don't want to you still want to be somewhat presentable, but you should still be able to be interested in the things you're interested and like the things that you like. It's your life. It's not, people can think what they want. It's not up to them, So if people judge you and don't like what you're doing, then let them unfollow you, let them do their own thing because you're going to attract all those other people that do like it. So that's what I think. And actually, it's true. I know that's how, there's been people in my life that didn't support me, and I kind of, it sucked at first. I'm not going to lie, it hurt my feelings. But I kind of got to the point where I'm you know what? We're going like this. My life is going this way and your life's going that way. And doesn't mean either of us, doesn't mean you're a bad person, but we're just in different places. We aren't on the same page, and that's fine. So I just kind of, that's kind of all. But it says
right.
Stop in a minute and a half. Susan, is there anything else, or Ari?
Well, I was going to ask Ari before time runs out if she had any questions to ask you, where she hasn't met you before. Ari, do you have any questions that you would want to ask Cozy?
I don't think so. I just been listening to this conversation that you guys have been having, and I'm I don't know. I bring myself to my own life and what I've been through, what I'm going through, and stuff, and so things are a little. I might need to think about some, but
yeah,
I don't know. It definitely helps to listen, just to listen and to be a part of the conversations that everybody else is having. Then it kind of sparks my thoughts, and I'm oh yeah, that I should do that, or that's a good thought, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you have questions about anything, you're always free to message any of us. If you have questions about a post that you might need help on, that you're super nervous to talk about, send it to us and we'll look over it first, So that's kind of what we're here for. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. So this will probably just cut us off, and then Sue, I will just send you the link to record.
Okay.
And then you can send it to some of the other girls that weren't able to get on.
Okay.
Sound good? Thanks for getting on, guys.
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fun. Okay.
Hey.
Have a good night, you guys.
You too.